Hello guys, studio. We have covered Rahu-Ketu Transit for various ascendants. In this video, we'll start with Rahu-Ketu Transit 2025 for Aries to Pisces Ascendant along with their aspect. So let me share my screen and start with the video. And one more thing I want to tell is the Aries Ascendant video from Aries Ascendant to Pisces Ascendant. The transit might play a vital role on your chart, especially if you have same Aries ascendant and same Aries zodiac sign as well, because the native planets are on their place as well as the transit planets are moving from your chart. So if you have the same place, let's say if you have a Rahu in first house, a native Rahu in the first house, and transit is also happening in your first house, then there might be more chances of having the transit effect on your overall life or your chart. So let's start from Aries Ascendant to Pisces Ascendant for Rahu Ketu Transit 2025 along with aspect. So in this video, I will start from Aries Ascendant. So you can see here, just a second. You can see the Roman numbers here from 1 to 12. This is basically for the understanding purpose for those who like confused between houses and the zodiacs and numbers. So the Roman numbers are represented by the houses numbers, and the list is here along with colors. And for the numbers, these are the number zodiac sign numbers and their respective lords. So in this video, we don't specifically need about the lord part, but we'll mostly discuss about the part of Aries ascendant. So let's start. So let's start with Aries ascendant. I will start from one number. So the numbers I'm writing are numbers of zodiac sign, and the Roman numbers are the houses. Houses will remain same, and the numbers will keep changing. So for Aries ascendant, Rahu will be moving to Aquarius sign from Pisces sign. So this is Pisces, 12 number you can see here, 12 number for Pisces, and from Pisces it's moving to Aquarius. So I will write Rahu here, and usually Ketu is 180 degrees from Rahu. So if Rahu is in 11th house, it will be in 5th house. So in last video, we discussed about Rahu and Ketu position. In this video, we'll discuss more in depth with the aspect of Rahu as well as Ketu. So for aspect, I will use green color shade. So from 11th house, Rahu will aspect 5th aspect on 3rd house, and then 7th aspect on 5th house, and 9th aspect on 7th house. Same for Ketu. 5th aspect, for 5th aspect, we have to calculate your house, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then 6, 7 here, and 9th aspect here. So we can see Rahu now is aspecting 3rd house, 5th house, and 7th house. So for 3rd house is basically your hard work. So when Rahu is in 11th house, you might feel like having like chasing desires or gaining money or like creating wealth. And for that, you can take the hard work as well because Rahu is aspecting the 3rd house, and 3rd house is of hard work, courage. So you might feel like working hard for making wealth. And additionally, Rahu is aspecting 5th house as well. So you might feel like educating yourself as well. And Ketu creates detachment, but Rahu aspect will influence a little bit on your education as well. And for the seventh house is your house of marriage, your business partnerships, interpersonal relationship, in general business as well. So when Rahu aspects 7th house. So when Rahu aspects 7th house, basically you might feel like when Rahu aspects seventh house, you might feel like getting married or like you're falling in love kind of thing. And you might feel like improving a business as well because Rahu in seventh house is basically of business. So you might feel like working hard in business and improving the business as well. So this is for Rahu aspect. So now let's talk about Ketu aspects. Ketu aspect, fifth aspect falls on ninth house. Ninth house is of religion. Ninth house is of your father, your mentors, your higher education, your long distance travels, then your spirituality as well. So Ketu aspect on ninth house might create like detachment from religious activities. Now religious activities doesn't mean like detachment from spirituality as well. Ketu is a spiritual planet, so if you're not into religious activities, then there are more chances you will develop interest in spirituality. Also, ninth house Ketu might like you might live away from your father, or your father might live away from your home or from you, because Ketu creates detachment. And detachment is basically like living far away from the native place or from the home. So this is the ninth house Ketu effect for seventh. So I'm sorry, for seventh aspect on 11th house. So you might have interest in spiritual friends or spiritual contacts or people or friends who are having spiritual interest. There is a good chance of forming connection with them. And additionally, the ninth aspect falls on first house. First house is of self personality. So sometimes you might feel like kind of less confident because Ketu creates detachment from self. So sometimes you might feel confident, sometimes you might feel detached from yourself. So the thing here is, it is not necessary that this kind of like transit will affect you so much, because at the start of the video I have already said that native planets will also play a role, and if you already have your native Rahu and Ketu in the same positions right now or for the transit positions, then there is a high chance of this transit effect on your chart. So this is all about the Aries Ascendant. Now let's move with Taurus Ascendant. So for Taurus Ascendant, I will start from number 2. So these are zodiac sign numbers and house numbers in Roman numbers. So for Taurus Ascendant, in previous video, we have discussed that Rahu moves from 11th house to 10th house. So Rahu is your transit and Ketu transit is in Leo from Virgo. So we show aspect with green ink. So fifth aspect falls on second house. Seventh aspect of Rahu falls on fourth house. And ninth aspect of Rahu falls on sixth house. So similarly, Ketu fifth aspect falls on eighth house. Seventh aspect falls on 10th house, and ninth aspect falls on 12th house. So let's start with Rahu first. Rahu in Rahu fifth aspect on second house. So second house is of house of money. Second house is house of communication tone, your family, house of eating habits as well. So Rahu is an attachment planet. So you might feel attached like to money, like gaining money. So in when Rahu will transit to in Aquarius for Taurus Ascendant, you might feel like too much attached to money, or we can say Rahu creates attachment to finances. So even if you are earning a lot of money, you might feel dissatisfied because dissatisfaction is also shown from Rahu. Rahu is also your communication tone. So you might use some harsh communication tone while speaking. And for family members, there might be some ups downs relations with them. So this is about Rahu fifth aspect on second house. So now we'll look for seventh aspect on fourth house. So already we have Ketu in fourth house as well. So Ketu in fourth house creates detachment from your home, but Rahu seventh aspect on fourth house is basically creating attachment and dissatisfaction as well from fourth house attributes. You might feel like returning home again, even if you are living away from your home. So this attachment and dissatisfaction might create these kinds of effect on your fourth house. So now Rahu ninth aspect falls on sixth house. So sixth house is house of diseases, debts, enemies, competition, your job. So Rahu aspect on sixth house is really good. You might feel competitive. You might, if you are preparing for competitive exams, this aspect might be helpful to crack your examinations. Additionally, Rahu in sixth house is good for discipline as well. You might feel disciplined. You might feel working really hard for your goals or your career. You might also have some ups downs relations with your coordinates or employees or co-workers because Rahu that is kind of intelligent as well as mischievous. So there might be some chances in your job environment where people might hate you. But the only formula for Rahu in sixth house or aspect on sixth house is keep working. Don't worry about what people are saying about you. If you ignore and keep working, this same Rahu aspect will help you to grow in your life. So this is what is for Taurus Ascendant along with Rahu Ketu aspect. I'm sorry, I have left with Ketu part. So Rahu I have discussed, and for Ketu, the fifth aspect falls on eighth house. The eighth house is basically of sudden events, and Ketu is also planet of sudden events. So sudden events, it doesn't mean only sudden losses. It might be sudden gains as well, because the eighth house also represent your ancestral property. Eighth house also represent psychology, transformation of the occult science as well. So Ketu position might help you as well as your in-laws. So you might feel like detached from in-laws. You might be living away from your in-laws. Also, Ketu in eighth house might create some interest in occult science as well. So this is for Ketu's fifth aspect on eighth house. Now Ketu's aspect seventh aspect on 10th house. So along with working hard in your career because of Rahu's placement in 10th house, Ketu's seventh aspect on 10th house also creates some sudden changes in your career because Ketu is basically sudden changes of planet. So sudden growth or sudden downfall. Downfall in the sense like not specifically like a kind of failure, but the downfall might be like if you are growing, then again it's stable. So growing and stable, this kind of things might happen because of Ketu aspect on 10th house. The Ketu aspect on 12th house, that is ninth aspect on 12th house. 12th house is house of spirituality. 12th house is a house of expenses, your hospital, your like you can say yoga, meditation. So Ketu's position might feel detached, but you will also feel kind of spiritual because Ketu's aspect on 12th house is very powerful in terms of spirituality. So you might feel like feeling like becoming spiritual or practicing meditation or yoga. So this is all about the Taurus Ascendant along with Rahu Ketu aspect. Now let's move to Gemini Ascendant. So for Gemini Ascendant, we'll start from number 3. So in last video, we discussed about Rahu's position from 10th house to 9th house, and Ketu will move to 3rd house. For aspects, Rahu's 5th aspect will fall on 1st house, 7th aspect will fall on 3rd house, and 9th aspect will fall on 5th house. Ketu's 5th aspect will fall on 7th house. Ketu's 7th aspect will fall on 9th house. and ninth aspect will fall on 11th house. So yeah, Rahu, we have discussed in last video, Rahu in ninth house will create attachment to your religious activities. Now its fifth aspect will fall on first house. So you might feel like focusing on yourself, improving yourself, because first house is self improve your personality, your physical and mental personality. So Rahu aspect in first house will help you with self improvement. You might feel like focusing on yourself, improving your physique, improving your mindset with practicing like meditation or mindfulness kind of things to improve your mental part. So Rahu's seventh aspect falls on third house. So third house, already we have transit Ketu here, so you might feel like detached from your siblings, but simultaneously you might feel like spending some time with them in between, like traveling with them shortly, because short distance travel is also seen from third house. So Rahu's that seventh aspect might help you with not completely detaching from your siblings, but in between you can meet with them. Also, Rahu's ninth aspect falls on fifth house. So fifth house is of house of education, your romantic relationship. Then fifth house is also about your hobbies. So you might feel like interest in education. Again, self-improvement part will play a role. And for romantic relationships, Rahu aspect on fifth house is not so good. So if you are like thinking of marrying, like love marriage kind of thing, then you might not get success initially because of Rahu's fifth aspect. Again, what matters is it depends on your native chart as well, which are the native planets present in fifth house, and the planets placed in fifth house are lords of seventh house or any other houses. So that transit part and native part will affect your original life process and life growth as well. So now let's move to Ketu part. Ketu's fifth aspect falls on seventh house. So seventh house is of house of marriage. So you might feel like delaying the marriage. You might feel like let's marry the next year or some other time. Uh, Also for married couples, you might either feel being too spiritual or you might feel like focusing on your career. Then Rahu's seventh aspect will fall on ninth house. So ninth house is house of religion. So along with the attachment of Rahu on ninth house attributes, you also might feel like uh, not not being too kind of like sticky or attached to religious activities. You sometimes might feel like being detached or practicing spirituality as well because of Ketu aspect. And now for Ketu in 11th house, that is ninth aspect on 11th house, you might feel your friends might get detached from you, especially those friends who are not spiritual, because Ketu is intellectual as well as spiritual. So if your friends are intellectual and spiritual, then they will remain. Others who are not, like not spiritual in your life, so you might feel detached. Also, Ketu in 11th house, that is Ketu aspect on 11th house, it also detaches you from the desires, because the more you feel like chasing the desires, you might feel like the desires or your will is not or your wishes are not getting true because of Ketu aspect on 11th house. So basically Ketu aspect on 11th house teaches us to focus on our karma rather than the desires. So when you actually focus on the karma instead of desires, then Ketu actually provides you the wealth because of that Ketu aspect on 11th house. So this was all about Gemini Ascendant for Rahu Ketu for along with aspect of Rahu Ketu for the transit. Now let's move to Cancer Ascendant. So let's start with Cancer Ascendant. So in previous video, we discussed that Rahu from ninth house moves to eighth house. So Rahu will go to eighth house and Ketu will go to second house. So aspects will be denoted with green shade. So Rahu's fifth aspect will fall on 12th house, seventh aspect will fall on second house, and ninth aspect will fall on fourth house. Similarly, Ketu's fifth aspect will fall on sixth house, seventh aspect will fall on eighth house, and ninth aspect will fall on 10th house. So for aspect part, Rahu's fifth aspect is falling on 12th house. This is really good position for those who are thinking of traveling abroad or settling abroad, because Rahu in 12th house, Rahu is a foreign element. So its aspect on 12th house, it's creating good chances of moving abroad, whether for higher education or for your career or job. Additionally, 12th house Rahu also indicates you might have interest in yoga or meditation or kind of spirituality thing. But the most focusing part of Rahu's fifth aspect on 12th house is like focusing on moving abroad, or now foreign settlement also mean moving outside your uh, culture. Like let's say if you are living in India, then not like if you are living in Maharashtra, then moving to Gujarat, moving to South India or North India is also foreign. So Rahu's fifth aspect on 12th house is beneficial for you to pick those job opportunities which are on foreign lands. Seventh aspect falls on second house. So Ketu transit is already present here. Along with Rahu, Rahu might create sometimes the attachment and detachment of money. So the moment you feel detached, you also might feel like the money is not going up or growing up. So in that case, you might feel the presence of Rahu aspect on the second house, that you might feel like gaining money along with the Ketu spiritual attitude. And Rahu's ninth aspect falls on fourth house. So fourth house is house of mother. So you might feel like attached to your mother. You might feel attached to your home because of Rahu aspect. And yeah, this is about Rahu's aspect. Now let's talk about Ketu's aspect. Ketu's fifth aspect falls on sixth house. So sixth house is actually of house of diseases. When Ketu has aspect on sixth house, you might feel some stomach related issues. It's recommended to like do a proper regular checkup from doctor, as well as take care of your stomach. Don't overeat, because Ketu in second house is also of eating habits. So if you're not so disciplined about eating habits, you're eating anyhow, then stomach related issues might be there, might be present. And Ketu's seventh aspect falls on eighth house. So again, along with like you might feel like attached to your in-laws, but simultaneously you also might feel like moving, settling away or moving away from them. And Ketu's tenth aspect falls on, I'm sorry, Ketu's ninth aspect falls on tenth house. So 10th house, Ketu might create, because I'm sorry, 10th house is also public recognition. So Ketu's aspect on 10th house is like sometimes people might feel you are too spiritual. Sometimes people you might feel you are too hardworking. Sometimes they might look at you as lazy. So Ketu is actually confusion. Ketu creates confusion. So sometimes you might feel like working really hard. Sometimes you might feel not like just being lazy, procrastinating things as well. So Ketu in this position again, one needs to focus same thing as Ketu for 11th house or 11th aspect, like focusing on their karma rather than like chasing those positions in job or career field. So if you focus on karma, this Ketu might help you improve your career growth. So this was about Cancer Ascendant for Rahu Ketu transit for aspect. Now let's move to Leo Ascendant. Start with Leo Ascendant, numbering from 5. So in last video we discussed Rahu will be moving from 8th house to 7th house, and Ketu will be moving from 2nd house to 1st house. So in this video we'll discuss about the aspect part as well. So Rahu's 5th aspect will fall on 11th house, 7th aspect will fall on 1st house, 9th aspect will fall on 3rd house. Same for Ketu. Ketu's 5th aspect will fall on 5th house, 7th aspect will fall on 7th house, and 9th aspect will fall on 9th house. So for those who don't know about the aspects of Rahu and Ketu, Rahu has three aspects: 5th, 7th, and 9th, and Ketu has again 5th, 7th, and 9th aspect. So in previous ascendants I missed about this, but I would add this thing in the description also, so that those who have missed who could get this concept for more understanding. So let's discuss about Rahu's 5th aspect on 11th house. So 11th house is house of gains, profits, your friends' networks. So you might feel like attached to your wealth. You might feel like growing your wealth. You might invest more time in your friends. You might also feel like improving a network. So especially if you have native planet, native 10th house lord in 11th house. So you might feel like improving your network in your professional circle. So Rahu in fifth house, sorry, Rahu's 5th aspect on 11th house is helpful to improve your wealth and improve your network. So Rahu's 7th aspect falls on first house. First house is house of self. So we already have Ketu's transit on first house. So you might feel like detached from yourself initially. But the thing is, the Rahu aspect might sometimes create that feel that you must focus on yourself as well as kind of being responsible rather than permanently being detached. So this aspect actually helps from being confident, from less confidence to like kind of more confident. And Rahu's ninth aspect falls on third house. This is good for hardworking because hardworking or courage part because the Rahu's aspect on third house is like if you are chasing wealth because Rahu's aspect is falling on 11th house. If you are chasing wealth, if you are creating wealth, you might need to work hard. And Rahu's aspect on third house actually helps with it to grow your wealth along taking with that hard work and effort and the courage to take the risk as well to improve the wealth. So this was about Rahu's aspect on each houses. Now let's discuss about Ketu's aspect. Ketu's 5th aspect falls on 5th house, and 5th house is a house of education, house of children. You might feel like delaying education, or you might feel like less interest in education. Also, Ketu's 5th aspect also might delay or detach your romantic relationship because of Ketu's aspect. Now, again, it's not like you have to go to the conclusion that romantic relationship will not be successful because native planet and the original your native chart as will play a vital role rather than falling for the conclusion of Ketu's 5th aspect on romantic relationship. Now let's talk about Ketu's 7th aspect on 7th house. So Rahu has already have attached to your spouse because of Rahu's attachment to 7th house. So you might feel attached, dissatisfied, or sometimes you might feel like moving away from your spouse for career related or business related because 7th house is house of business as well. So you might feel like uh, living away from your spouse because of Ketu's aspect. And now Ketu's ninth aspect will fall on the ninth house. Ninth house is a house of father, your religion, your mentors. You might live away from your father, or your father might live away from you or your home house. Also, Ketu is a spiritual planet, so you might feel like being detached from religious activities, but simultaneously you might feel like investing more time in spirituality. So this was about Leo Ascendant. Leo Ascendant, Rahu-Ketu Transit along with aspect. Now let's talk about Virgo Ascendant. So for Virgo Ascendant, numbers will start from 6. So Rahu will move from 7th house to 6th house, and Ketu from Virgo to 12th house, 1st house to 12th house. So we have already discussed about Rahu Ketu placement in our previous video. So in this video, we'll talk about the aspect part. So Rahu's fifth aspect will fall on 10th house, seventh aspect will fall on 12th house, and ninth aspect will fall on, second house. I have already written the aspect part here. These are fifth, seventh, ninth aspect, so that in case if you don't know, now Ketu's fifth aspect will fall on fourth house, seventh aspect will fall on sixth house, and ninth aspect will fall on eighth house. So let's start with Rahu first. Rahu's fifth aspect on 10th house is a really good position to focus on your career growth. Rahu also creates some delays and struggle as well. But the thing is, you already have Rahu transit in sixth house, so you have that discipline inside you to work hard, even despite of having struggles and delays in your career part. So Rahu's 10th house also creates an illusion in your professional circle that you might be doing some mischievous activities to grow your career. The only lesson here is to keep working rather than discussing or proving yourself right, because sixth house Rahu blesses you with career growth if you are focusing on the discipline part, the hard work part, on your karma basically, instead of proving others how capable person you are in your professional life. So Rahu's seventh aspect will fall in 12th house. So Ketu's transit position in 12th house might make you spiritual, but Rahu's seventh aspect might create some opportunities to move abroad as well, because Rahu's seventh aspect on 12th house might give you opportunities for foreign settlement or working on foreign lands. So because of Rahu is a foreign element, and foreign element is already aspecting the foreign house, that is 12th house. So you might have some chances in between also. Now Rahu's ninth aspect falls on second house. So if you already have Rahu in your second house, a native Rahu in your second house, so you might feel being overly attached to your money. Even if you are earning good, you might feel dissatisfied. You might feel like focusing more on hard work to improve your money, improve your wealth status. So Rahu's ninth aspect will create these kinds of effects on your life. Now let's talk about Ketu. Ketu's fifth aspect falls on fourth house. Fourth house is house of your mother, your home, your domestic environment. So you might feel like staying away, because I have already said Rahu's seventh aspect is falling on 12th house. So you might have some opportunities to live away from your home. And additionally, Ketu's fifth aspect on fourth house shows that you might live away from your mother or your home for work purposes. Additionally, Ketu's seventh aspect falls on sixth house. So along with being disciplined, sometimes you might feel being lazy also. And if you're not maintaining your eating habits properly, this Ketu aspect might also give you some kind of stomach health issues as well. And now Ketu's ninth aspect falls on eighth house. Eighth house is house of occult signs, it's of in-laws, sudden events. So you might feel sudden gains in your life as well, and sudden losses as well. But sudden losses for, I would say, native planets again will play a vital role. Losses doesn't mean that as soon as the transit start, you might feel such losses. It's not like that, because sudden events is the eighth house. So you might also have some gains as well. It doesn't mean only losses. You might also have gains as well as other aspects are Ketu in Ketu aspect on 8th house is detaching from in-laws, because in-laws has 8th house. You might stay away from your in-laws, you might stay away from your home as well, because detachment from 4th house as well. So this was all about Virgo Ascendant. Now let's move to Libra Ascendant. So for Libra Ascendant, let's start from 7 and following other numbers. You can refer these two tables so that the Roman numbers are the numbers of your houses, and the other numerical number is of zodiac signs. So in last video we discussed for Libra Ascendant, Rahu moves to 5th house in Aquarius and Ketu moves to 11th house of Leo. Okay, so for aspect, we'll use green color. Rahu's 5th aspect will fall on 9th house. 7th aspect will fall on 11th house, and 9th aspect will fall on 1st house. Ketu's 5th aspect will fall on 3rd house. 7th aspect will fall on 5th house, and 9th aspect will fall on 7th house. So, okay, Rahu's 5th aspect on 9th house. 9th house, like you might feel like attached to your father. You might feel like having higher education, because Rahu creates attachment to 9th house attributes. You might feel like going for long distance travels as well, because Rahu is creating the attachment as well as dissatisfaction. Even if you go for long distance travels, you again might feel like moving again or going again because of the dissatisfaction part. Uh, One more thing here is for 9th house, Rahu creates attachment with your religious activities also. You might doesn't necessarily mean that you will just go for a vacation for long distance travel. You might go to religious places as well, because it is creating attachment to your religious places as well for long distance travels. Additionally, Rahu's 7th aspect points on 11th house. So we already have Ketu's transit in 11th house. So you might feel like detached with your friends. You might create spiritual network as well. But Rahu's attachment will also call your friends or be in contact with them in between also, because of attachment of Rahu. And now Rahu's 9th aspect falls on 1st house. 1st house is house of personality. So you might feel like being attached to your personality. You might feel like self-improvement. You might focus on your physique, your fitness, being fit, then focusing on mindfulness or meditation, yoga, spirituality to improve your mind. Rahu creates all those things to improve yourself. Now, Ketu's 5th aspect falls on 3rd house. You might feel like kind of lazy, kind of procrastinating things, because 3rd house is house of communication as well as your hard work, the courage. So, since it's of communication as well, you might feel like less talking with your other people, or you might feel like kind of introvert people because of Ketu's aspect. Now, Ketu's aspect also falls on 5th house. 5th house is also house of education. So you might overly feel attached to your education, but in the same time, is like you might feel like being relaxing as well because of Ketu's detachment from 5th house. Now, Ketu's 7th aspect falls, sorry, 9th aspect falls on 7th house. 7th house is house of marriage. 7th house is house of business and business partnerships, interpersonal relationships as well. So Ketu might delay your marriage because of Ketu is a alone planet. Ketu doesn't don't like basically being with someone or being with people, or the Ketu is basically a planet, spiritual planet who likes to live alone. So this aspect might delay your marriage, but again, I would say your natal planets might play a vital role. So if you are like in like if your marriage has been delayed or you have been confused about what to do and what not to do, you can take paid consultations from me. The details are been mentioned in the description below. So this was all about the Libra Ascendant for Rahu Ketu transit and the aspects. Now let's move to Scorpio Ascendant. Now let's start with Scorpio Ascendant. So in last video we discussed that Rahu moves from fifth house to 11th house. So from fifth house to fourth house. So Rahu will be here, and Ketu from 11th house to 10th house in Leo. So in this video we are discussing about Rahu's aspect. So Rahu's fifth aspect will fall on 8th house, on seventh aspect falls on 10th house, and Rahu's ninth aspect falls on 12th house. Similarly for Ketu, Ketu's fifth aspect will fall on second house, seventh aspect will fall on fourth house, and ninth aspect falls on sixth house. Okay, so Rahu's fifth aspect on eighth house. Eighth house is of house of sudden events, surgeries, then accidents as well. Then I'm not terrifying you, but the thing is, uh, Rahu's aspect on fifth aspect on eighth house creates those attachment with sudden events, your in-laws, you also might feel like some developing interest in occult science because of eighth house is also of occult science. So Rahu's fifth aspect creates attachment to your in-laws. You might feel like living nearby to your in-laws or with them, and creates dissatisfaction as well because Rahu is attachment as well as dissatisfaction. So Rahu's eighth fifth aspect on eighth house create these kinds of changes in your life. Now Rahu's seventh aspect falls on 10th house. You already have Ketu's transit here. So you might feel like being lazy, but you might also feel like working hard because of responsibilities. Because Rahu's seventh aspect creates that working hard kind of under responsibilities along with Ketu as well. So these things might happen. And Rahu's ninth aspect falls on 12th house. So this is really good position to move abroad for either education or for career, because 12th house already talks about foreign settlement, like having foreign clients or getting money or earning on foreign lands. So Rahu's ninth aspect on 12th house is really good for if you have some opportunities to move abroad. This aspect might like this transit might help you to move abroad and grow your career as well because of the attachment to those foreign lands and foreign part of your life. So now let's talk about Ketu. Ketu's fifth aspect will fall on second house. So this is a really interesting position because Ketu, when if you already have Ketu in your second house, a native Ketu in your second house, or if you have a native Ketu's aspect on second house, you might have habit of detaching money, or you can say being too spiritual regarding money, or not too attached or not too obsessive regarding earning money. Same happens for Ketu transit. So Ketu's fifth aspect on second house, there is one important thing you have to apply in your life is Ketu creates detachment. So if you're spending or like spending money on yourself or your family, because second house is also a house of family. If you're spending, so you might have some chances of gaining more money, or at least gaining that money which you have already spent. Because Ketu, the more you spend, the more you detach yourself from the money. The Ketu will like might bless you with more money. So this is for Ketu's position. Now Ketu's seventh aspect falls on fourth house. You already have attachment with your mother, your home environment, but you also might feel like moving abroad because of Rahu's 12th aspect, sorry, ninth aspect on 12th house. So you might feel detached from your mother or home environment as well, living abroad or living away from them. Ketu's ninth aspect falls on sixth house. So sixth house is house of discipline. So you might feel like procrastinating things. You might feel like around delaying things, not like working every day. Sometimes you are feeling, sometimes you're not, because of transit Ketu position on 10th house as well. So house of karma, which is 10th house, you might feel like detached from your karma as well, from your hard work as well. So Ketu in 6th house, the only thing is you have to focus on your eating habits, being disciplined, not like eating on irregular timings or having junk food, because Ketu in 6th house or sixth house aspect is basically creating issues for stomach health issues. There might be minor stomach health issues in your life. So it's necessary to focus on balanced diet instead of consuming junk food. So this was about it, Scorpio Ascendant. And now let's move to Sagittarius Ascendant. So for a Sagittarius Ascendant, 9 number will be here and following numbers. So in last video, we discussed that Rahu moves from 4th house to 3rd house in Aquarius, and Ketu moves from Virgo 10th house to Leo 9th house. So the aspects have been written here, which are Rahu's aspect and which are Ketu's aspect. So Rahu's 5th aspect will fall on 7th house. 7th aspect will fall on 9th house. 9th aspect will fall on 11th house. Ketu's 5th aspect will fall on 1st house. 7th aspect will fall on 3rd house. And 9th aspect will fall on 5th house. So let's start with Rahu first. Rahu's 5th aspect falls on 7th house. 7th house is house of marriage. You might feel like attached to a spouse. You might feel like marrying your uh, romantic relationship or love marriage kind of thing if you have in your life. So you might feel like marrying them, or in general, even if you are not in a relationship, you also feel like taking into consideration of marrying someone because of Rahu's aspect on 7th house. Rahu also creates illusion, so it is recommended to do a proper background check of your spouse rather than directly jumping for the marriage part, because the Rahu creates urgency, Rahu creates illusion as well. So it's necessary to do proper background check of your spouse and then go for marriage. In Rahu's aspect on 7th house also creates opportunities to grow your business, because 7th house also discuss about business. So additionally, Rahu's 7th aspect falls on 9th house. So along with Ketu's transit, this is like you might be sometimes religious as well, because of Ketu's placement in 9th house creates a kind of detachment from religious activities and more into spiritual activities. But Rahu's aspect is like kind of mixture of both things. You might sometimes feel like practicing religious activities as well. You might feel attached to your father, or you might caring your father, or kind of stuff like that. So Rahu's ninth aspect also falls on 11th house. So 11th house is house of gains, profits, long-term wealth, then your friends, networks. Rahu's 11th, like ninth house aspect on 11th house is really good to improve your wealth, because the wealth part, Rahu creates hard work because of Rahu's original transit position in 3rd house. So you will work hard, you will be courageous to take bold decisions to improve your wealth, and you might increase your network, you might invest more time with your friends as well. And this is really good position to improve your wealth. So now let's talk about Ketu's. Ketu's aspect. Ketu's 5th aspect falls on 1st house. So you might be kind of detached from yourself. You might like look for the more spiritual point of view, and you might sometimes also you might feel less confident regarding that. So Ketu's 7th aspect falls on 3rd house. So along with having been too disciplined or hardworking, you also sometimes might feel lazy because of Ketu's aspect on 7th house. Additionally, Ketu's 9th aspect on 5th house. 5th house is house of education, your children. You might, if you already have children, you might stay away from your children, away from your home, or they might stay away from you because of Ketu's aspect. Ketu is also in fifth house, is also of detachment from education. You might feel lazy or procrastinating for the students, especially. You might like drop your develop less interest in education because of Ketu's aspect on fifth house. So this was about Sagittarius Ascendant for Rahu-Ketu Transit aspect. Now let's talk about Capricorn Ascendant. So now let's talk about Capricorn Ascendant. So in last video, we discussed that Rahu moves from third house to second house and Ketu moves from ninth house to eighth house. So Rahu's fifth aspect will now fall on sixth house, seventh aspect will fall on eighth, and ninth aspect will fall on 10th. Ketu's fifth aspect will fall on 12th house, seventh aspect on second house, and ninth aspect on fourth house. So for Rahu, fifth aspect on sixth house, you might be disciplined, you might feel working really hard. You might have haters as well in your job because of Rahu's mischievous illusion people might have about you. The only thing here is keep focusing on your work, on your karma, rather than explaining people about your capability. Because the Rahu's sixth house aspect will create some situations in your life where the haters will actually like will be kind of blessings with you, kind of blessings in disguise kind of thing, because of Rahu's aspect on sixth house. Additionally, Rahu's aspect on eighth house, along with being detached from in-laws or staying away from in-laws, you might sometimes have some kind of remembrance about them because of staying away from them, and you might also invest more interest in invest more time in occult science because of Rahu's aspect on eighth house. Additionally, Rahu's aspect on 10th house is really good to improve your career. Now, the Rahu's fifth aspect already falls on job house, which is sixth house. So you might feel like working hard, disciplined in your career as well because of Rahu's aspect on 10th house as well. So for career growth, this Rahu transit along with aspect is really good for Capricorn Ascendant. Now let's talk about Ketu. Ketu's fifth aspect falls on 12th house. This is also a really good placement for spirituality. You might have some chances in between for abroad settlement as well because Ketu's ninth aspect falls on fourth house. Fourth house is house of mother, your home. You might feel detached. You might feel like you might live away from your home. Now you're already living away from in-laws because of Ketu's transit in eighth house. Now you're also living away from your home as well. So you might have some opportunities for moving abroad, foreign settlement. If you have already native Rahu in your 12th house, then these chances get more boosted for going abroad and working in foreign countries. Additionally, Ketu's seventh aspect falls on second house. So along with being overly detached with overly attached with your money, you also might feel like kind of spiritual point of view for money rather than being too pushy or too chasing the money part because of Rahu. And for Ketu's ninth aspect on fourth house. Again, it detaches from your mother living away. Fourth house also comes in for real estate properties. So if you're thinking of buying any property, I suggest you to avoid or you can take decision from your financial expert or real estate expert because of K2 creates detachment. There might be chance that real estate property might not benefit you. Now, again, it matters which are your native planets in fourth house. Because if you already have Ketu aspect in your fourth house, native Ketu aspect, or Ketu in fourth house already, native Ketu, then these chances might be more of being detached from real estate property. But if you have planets like Jupiter aspect or sun aspect on fourth house, then these chances might be less, like detaching from real estate property. So this was about Capricorn Ascendant for Rahu-Ketu transit. Now let's move to Aquarius Ascendant. Now let's start with Aquarius Ascendant. Okay, so Rahu will move to first house and Ketu to seventh house. You could refer my previous video where I have had detailed discussion about Rahu Ketu original placement. In this video, we'll talk about Rahu's aspect, three aspect on fifth, seventh, and ninth on different houses. Now, fifth aspect falls on fifth house, seventh aspect on seventh, and ninth aspect on ninth house. Similarly, for Ketu, fifth aspect falls on 11th house. Ketu's seventh aspect falls on first house, and Ketu's ninth aspect falls on third house. So Rahu in fifth house, basically this position is Rahu when have aspect on fifth house. You might feel like being along with the Rahu's first house position improves yourself. You might feel like self-improvement. Additionally, Rahu's aspect on education. Fifth house is a house of education, so you might feel like improving yourself. You might feel like learning new things because of education attachment. You might also like you might also delay kind of romantic relationship because Rahu delays the things. So now it depends what like which planets have been already residing, native planets have been residing in in your fifth house. Because those, if you already have Rahu aspect or Rahu in fifth house of your Aquarius ascendant as well, then these chances of delaying romantic relationship might increase because of the transit Rahu as well. But otherwise, if you have Venus or seventh house Lord in fifth house, then there might be some good chances of like successful romantic relationship. Additionally, Rahu's seventh aspect falls on seventh house. So Ketu creates detachment from your spouse, but even if you are being detached, you might feel like being a remembrance of your spouse, even if you're staying away from there or focusing your career because of Rahu's attachment aspect on your seventh house. And Rahu's ninth aspect falls on ninth house. So ninth house, you might feel like being religious, you might feel like having religious long distance travels or only long distance travels, you might feel like traveling or having vacation. And additionally, ninth house is also about astrology. So you might have interest in learning astrology as well. So this was about Rahu's aspect on different houses. Now let's talk about Ketu. For Ketu's fifth aspect falls on 11th house. So 11th house is house of network, your friends, and Ketu is a spiritual planet and intellectual planet as well. So if you have intellectual friends or spiritual friends in your circle, then those friends, like you might find interest only in those types of friends. And friends who are not intellectual or spiritual, you might feel detached from them. Or they detached doesn't mean that you won't talk with them or like kind of any betrayals happen. That doesn't mean that they might stay away from you. They might go away from your home or your place where you are regularly visiting. So I'm sorry, Ketu's seventh aspect also falls on first house. So Rahu already have residing on first house. So Ketu's aspect creates the kind of detachment as well because Rahu's first house placement as transit Rahu's placement creates sometimes self-obsession as well. But Ketu's aspect might detach you from that obsession. Now, Ketu also look the third house, like aspect the third house. Third house is house of hard work, your courage, your siblings, your short travels. So if you are having long travels here, so you obviously not feel like having short travels because of Ketu creates a detachment. Third house is also a house of younger siblings. So you might feel like being detached. They might live away from you, or you might go away from your younger siblings. So also Ketu's aspect on third house creates kind of being laziness or procrastinating things because of Ketu being detached from your hard work. So this was all about Aquarius Ascendant for Rahu Ketu transit. Now let's move to the last ascendant, that is Pisces Ascendant. Let's talk about Pisces Ascendant. So in last video, the Rahu moves from first house to 12th house, and Ketu moves from 7th house to 6th house. So if you are new to our channel, you can look for previous video where I've detailed discuss about the Rahu Ketu part. And in this video, we'll talk about the aspects of Rahu, the transit Rahu, so that which more houses will be influenced from this transit. So Rahu's fifth aspect falls on fourth house, seventh aspect falls on sixth house, ninth aspect falls on eighth house. Ketu's fifth aspect falls on 10th house, seventh aspect falls on 12th house, and ninth aspect falls on second house. Okay, just a second. Yeah, for Rahu in 12th house. Now, in previous video, I have discussed that Rahu in 12th house, the feet like what kind of attributes Rahu will give you in this transit. Now, Rahu's fifth aspect falls on fourth house. So, fourth house is house of your mother, your home. You might feel attached to your mother, you might feel attached to your home, you might feel like taking work from home, careers, even if you are like staying away from home because of Rahu's uh, placement in for on foreign lands. Still, you might feel like working from home, even if you're like living abroad. Additionally, Rahu's aspect falls on sixth house as well. So sixth house for Ketu, you might feel less disciplined, but Rahu's placement might look at those like laziness and discipline with like kind of responsibilities like you need to fulfill, you need to accomplish in your life, your goals. So this aspect actually feels kind of being responsible rather than dealing things out of laziness or procrastination. Now Rahu's uh, ninth aspect falls on eighth house. Eighth house is house of in-laws, your like occult science, sudden events. So you might feel developing interest in occult science. Like around 60% of Pisces Ascendant might be watching this video right now because of Rahu's aspect in occult science. So additionally, you might be like you might feel attached to your in-laws because of Rahu's attachment, and you simultaneously feel like dissatisfied with them as well because of the aspect of Rahu on eighth house. So now let's talk about Ketu's aspect on different houses. Ketu will aspect 10th house from here. Ketu will aspect 10th house from 6th house. So 10th house is house of career, house of karma, your public recognition. So you might feel detached from these things. You might feel detached from karma. Already Ketu in 6th house creates delays or being laziness and discipline. When it comes to karma as well, this Ketu actually also creates some more laziness kind of, or sometimes you might feel like working hard. You sometimes might feel like not working hard because of Ketu's sudden events, because Ketu is surprising planet from sudden events. Sometimes you might feel like working, sometimes you not feel like not working as well. So Ketu here also tells like if you are focusing on your karma rather than chasing any positions in your career, like let's say if you're working hard to become a manager or lead, instead of chasing that, if you are focusing on your karma, what you need to do to become let's say CEO or whatever it is, let's say manager. So if you are focusing on that karma, then there will be more chances of getting the promotion instead of directly chasing the position. So Rahu's seventh aspect falls on 12th house. Now already, I'm sorry, Ketu's seventh aspect falls on 12th house. So we already have transit Rahu in 12th house. So Ketu's aspect will create some kind of spirituality sense to it. You might not feel being overwhelmed with working hard on foreign lands because of Rahu's position. You might add some spiritual element in your life as well. Additionally, Ketu will aspect second house with ninth aspect. So second house is house of finance. So you might feel being detached from finance. Now detached doesn't mean you don't feel like earning money. It means like you are earning out of kind of finding a spiritual sense why like kind of why we are earning this money for, and kind of these kinds of questions might arise in your mind while working. Also, Ketu in second house is like detachment from their uh, money because it's in second house, so it creates detachment from money as well, and it is of family as well. So you might feel detached from your family. You might lesser talk with them or lesser engage with them. Also, Ketu in if you already have native Ketu or like aspect of native Ketu on second house of Pisces Ascendant, then I would suggest that detach that money from you, like spending more money on yourself, spending more money on your family. It might increase your wealth because Ketu is detachment. The more you keep it to yourself, the more like the lesser you will face financial growth. Like don't be stingy. If you're being stingy, then your financial growth will stop. So it's better you are spending money on yourself as well as like your family. Now, spending doesn't mean that you have to spend anyhow because second house also talks about budget finances. So if you are not doing proper budget planning and spending anyhow, then again Ketu might punish you for the same. So it's better you do the proper budget planning and then spend the money on yourself as well as your family. So this was all about Rahu Ketu transit for aspect as well for ascendants. So in next video we'll try covering like Rahu for different native planets, or we'll directly move to Jupiter transit, which is going to happen on 15th May 2025. So we'll again discuss the same thing as we did for Rahu Ketu transit for different ascendant, and then we'll start about Jupiter ascendant. Thank you and subscribe to this channel to get more videos like this for learning astrology. Thank you.